Lecture 3, continuing with the General Code of Conduct, Part C. When talking about information and duties with regard to product suppliers, there's certain information, if things change, that you need to give to the supplier in writing. So if you change your place of business or telephone numbers, your various contractual relationship, compliance departments and things like that, you need to let people know as soon as possible in writing, or if you do it orally, it must be confirmed in writing within 30 days. These changes need to be conveyed to the client as soon as possible. So you must remember that your relationship with the FSP is a contractual relationship. And if things change according to the contract, the client needs to know, because at the end of the day, the client has a choice of which suppliers they want to use and which financial services providers they want to use. So if something changes, the client has a right to choose to go with another supplier or another FSP. So information that needs to be provided with regards to FSP, the following things need to be provided to the client within 30 days in writing. So like we said, businesses, trade names and things like that. Importantly, the legal and contractual status of the FSP. So a financial services provider needs to be authorized, and you need to let the client know that you are an authorized FSP. You need to give them the details of the compliance department, so if they've got any queries relating to compliance, they can pass it on there. You also have to let your clients know that you hold suitable guarantees and professional indemnities like insurance policies and things like that. And if a representative is giving services under supervision, then you need to let the clients know, hey, I'm still under supervision, or I'm currently under supervision, or something like that. So the information regarding the actual service, you need to let the client know the nature and material terms of the transaction. So what is most important with that transactions? If you're using projections and forecasts, they need to be appropriate, and there has to be some sort of, way that you reach those projections. They mustn't be so far out. The type of product that you're doing and the nature and extent of the benefits. So the clients need to know exactly what they're paying for and what they will get out and when they will get it out. So there's a whole list of things that need to be disclosed separately. So if you look, this is not just a disclosure of what is included and fees and charges. There needs to be a complete separate disclosure of a couple of things. So if you look at the amount and the frequency thereof, what you're paying, if you're paying for a policy every month, every year, for example, exactly what and when you're paying, who receives the money, the services, the fees, specifics with regards to the charges and the structure of the products. There are a couple more things. When the client requests information, it needs to be made available. If there are any rebate arrangements or any other platform fee arrangements, you can go through those separate disclosures that need to be made. Other disclosures that need to be made, the nature and extent of the monetary obligations assumed by the client in favor of the supplier. So through the FSP, there will be monetary obligations that the client has made to the supplier. The frequency and incentive of the remuneration, commissions and fees. So what is the FSP actually getting? Are they getting a percentage of what you are paying? Are they getting a once-off? What exactly are they getting for rendering that financial service? Any special terms or conditions, exclusions, waiting periods, loadings, penalties, excesses, restrictions, and when will benefits not be provided? All these things need to be made known to the client up front. If there are guaranteed minimum benefits or any other guarantees, to the extent that the product is realizable or accessible, you never know what may happen in future, and there might be a point in time where the client needs access to those fees. So if there's early termination or things like that, what are the consequences and how accessible are the contributions that the client has made? You also need to keep in mind tax considerations. If there are cooling off rights, cooling off deals with direct marketing, so if an FSP phones you or approaches you as opposed to you approaching them, you generally have a few days to decide if you would like to cancel the contract with no adverse consequences. So that is a cooling off right. Any material risks involved, when the premium increases and how much it is increasing by. And then with regards to transactions, you need to keep the client in mind if any material facts change. The client needs to be satisfied with the details of the transaction. They need to make sure that all the details contained are correct. What are the consequences of misrepresentation or non-disclosure of material facts? So keep in mind, for example, if someone is coming to talk to you about a life insurance policy and you're a smoker, and you say in your forms that you do not smoke, what are the consequences of that? Will the policy pay out? Will it not pay out? Will it pay out a portion? Will it not pay out if you die due to a smoking related disease? So it must be made clear that any misrepresentation made has a consequence and what those consequences are. So when dealing with a client, you cannot make the client sign a blank document. If there is something that needs to be filled in, it needs to be filled in prior to the client signing the document. So you cannot just ask them to sign on the dotted line when there is missing information. All the information needs to be contained when the client signs. On a regular basis, okay, at least once a year, you need to let the client know what is going on. So you give them a written statement of what the ongoing monetary obligations are, what the benefits are, your value of the investments, and any ongoing incentives and considerations and fees that the broker is still getting. You need to let the client know at least once a year.